Our legal guys joining us now to talk more about this. Avery Friedman in Cleveland, Richard Herman in Las Vegas. All right, this is just so sad. So jurors are hearing today from the lead evidence tech who testified that no weapons were found in that SUV, no sticks, nothing of that nature. So Avery, what more are we likely to learn from this witness? How critical is this?
Well, all these witnesses are piling up the evidence, Frederica, and it's another, we're back in Florida again. Here we go with an annoyance by some people, converting it into feeling that they have the right to pull a gun and kill somebody, whether it's in a theater, when someone's texting, whether somebody believes that someone's in the wrong neighborhood. And in a case like this, where the noise was too loud coming from somebody else's radio, this is extraordinary. And in a case like this, if I'm prosecuting, I'm doing it exactly this way. Line up all the witnesses, line up the independent witnesses, put on the ballistics, and by the end of next week, Frederica, the prosecution's case should be done.
Wow. So, Richard, you know, we heard some dramatic testimony from these young men in the car, especially Jordan's best friend. How impactful?
Yeah.
Well, the testimony is very good when it comes in from the prosecutor, but then on cross-examination, Fred, what happens is the screw gets unscrewed, and you find out that some of these witnesses have criminal histories, the driver was out violating probation or a curfew, and you hear a story that the crime scene was not well established, that the driver in the car could have taken them away for a period of time, ditched any potential weapons, then returned to the gas station. You know, Fred, as a criminal defense attorney, you have to decide whether or not the case is even defensible. And here, sadly for some, this case appears very defensible. And again, in the Sunshine State, in the self-defense state, where these cases seem to garner a lot of sympathy for the shooter, I think that there's a lot to work with for the defense position.
So then, Avery, let's talk a little bit more about the alleged shooter. You know, after the shooting, or I guess I don't have to say alleged because he admits to doing it. Michael Dunn,
right,
you know, fled the scene, drove to a bed and breakfast with his girlfriend, ordered a pizza, stayed the night, and then drove home, where he was eventually apprehended. I mean, what will the jurors interpret from that kind of behavior? How could that possibly bode well for him?
I don't think it can. I mean, it's so callous, it's so deliberate, it's so uncivilized. I mean, if you're involved, you believe you have a legitimate defense, the first thing you're going to do is call 911. You want the police there and say, look, this is what happened. But the idea that he left the scene, Frederica, got a pizza, took off from there, is extraordinarily incriminating. And I think practically, I think this Mr. Michael Dunn's in a lot of trouble right now.
And lots of parallels are being, you know, drawn with the Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman case.
Yeah.
You know, and so, Richard, and we're also seeing some familiar faces. Same prosecutors that were in that George Zimmerman trial, you're now seeing in this case as well. These jurors have to remember that. It was a very highly publicized case. How influential could that potentially be in this case, Richard?
Well, they didn't do so good in Zimmerman, so they'll probably fall apart in this case as well, Fred. I don't think they're prepared. But, you know, it's going to come down to this, the state of mind of the shooter and whether or not the jury believes his position that he felt or he reasonably feared for his life, that he saw a shotgun coming out of the car at him, that he heard the victim say, I'm going to kill you, we're going to get on now, it's getting on now. You know, was this realistic? Was it something that's reasonable? If the jury buys that, Fred, he's going to be acquitted. That's how it's going to come down in this case. It's not a black and white case, although it is a black and white case. It's not under the law. And you know, there is fodder here for a jury to come back and acquit him.
You know what? Wait. The powerful line, Frederica, by Thompson, Kevin Thompson, who quotes Dunn saying, "Are you talking to me? What does he think? He's Robert De Niro? This is extraordinary." So, you know, again, we'll see how this plays out. But,
but it emanates from loud music, like someone throwing popcorn at you. Now it's loud music. It's ridiculous what's going on here.
All right.